Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is White Lightning. Welcome back to Cities Skylines, the city of Alexandria. As often happens, I was running the clock in between episodes so I could accrue a bit of money so that we could work on some stuff together on camera. But then I hit a milestone on accident, totally on accident, like I say. Population of 14,000, we are now a grand city. We now have access to the solar power plant and the baseball park. We will get to those eventually, especially the solar power plant. I am currently all green energy here in the city, with the exception potentially on how you define green of the garbage incinerators that produce electricity from garbage. I think that's green. The garbage is not just sitting around, and yeah, it might be dirty and stinky and stuff, but at least it's going to good use, right? Providing power for us. But we'll put down that solar power plant at some point. But the whole reason I was working on things in here, and like I said, just kind of letting the clock run and adding a little extra bit of cemetery, let's get out of our zoning there, is because today I've gone through and made a list. Last episode we were just kind of working on what we needed to do right in the moment to kind of recover and just kind of reacting. Today is going to be a proactive planning day, and today, in light of the current issues with the coronavirus going around the world, and like my college classes are canceled on campus, and my wife's has to work from home indefinitely and so forth. By the way, hope everybody is safe. Hope everybody is doing what you should be doing to keep yourself and others safe. Just be smart, and hope you have a good next couple of weeks wherever you are dealing with this issue, which is kind of crazy. But crazy things happen. That's kind of the way the world works. And so with that in mind, today I would like to work on getting our emergency response units and services totally up to par, up to speed. We have this one emergency shelter over here, which didn't do a ton of good. Last time we used it, really didn't fill up very well. Reading about the emergency shelters and so forth online, I'm a little bit skeptical about their use, but I think we'd better have some. Some people recommended going into the asset editor because they're so dang expensive. I realize this is costing us $1,600 a week to keep it stocked and running in the event of a disaster. But we'll keep it up, I think, and keep using it. I am going to move it, though, and the place I'm going to move it, I think, is over here in this area. I would like to have this downtown. We can kind of start planning out some emergency evacuation routes and so forth to get things downtown. So that's what we're going to be doing this episode, is our disaster preparation, emergency preparation, putting things like that down. And then in the future episodes, we'll make this into a nice park, or I'm thinking a zoo down here and maybe a park up here or something like that. I don't remember if I showed you this, guys. It's been several days since I last recorded. I buried this road and turned it into a 6-lane one-way road, so because it was causing a lot of traffic issues, and you can still see there are some traffic issues backing up here. I'll probably end up making this into a one-way road as well, and maybe even this one, depending on what we do with our transit. So future episodes we'll be dealing with transit and parks, especially in our downtown area here. For this current episode, we'll be doing emergency preparedness. To that end, you'll see I filled in with a little park over here in this square, kind of mirroring what we have here, which is the Statue of Wealth. This is the Fountain of Life and Death, which I thought was very appropriate, and we're actually, let me close out of there so you can see it. You know, nice little fountain with people visiting. Life and death sounds kind of ominous, but you know what? We just had a massive tsunami, just like, I guess in this case it was 4 years ago, but we're just barely getting back on our feet. It's 2029. We're still getting back on our feet from the tsunami of 25 in-game. So we're going to rename this fountain to be the Tsunami, the 2025 Tsunami Memorial Park. There we go. So we renamed it. This is one of the requirements to build a fusion generator, which I might end up doing. My primary goal for the Wonder to build is the space elevator, but the fusion plant I think would make a lot of sense too, especially given that we're going to be placing this park down as our Tsunami Memorial Park. And then with that as well, I was actually wanting to rename this street to be Michael's Circle. Actually, it's more of a square. Yes. Nanian Michaels Square. Nanian Michaels is one of the subscribers who commented on a past video. And yeah, there we go. That's perfect, actually. Perfect. And was talking about how he or she, sorry, I don't know your gender or whatever, was impressed by me using roundabouts, being a Yank and using roundabouts. So here's a square about, not a roundabout, but same basic idea, square about, named after Nanian Michaels. So there you go. If any of you want stuff named after you, just sound off in the comments, and I will do my best to make that happen. So as far as actual disaster and emergency survival goes, I think our first thing we're going to do is relocate this building. which is going to cost us, $14,000. That's okay, though. And I think it makes sense for this thing to be downtown, in our downtown area, kind of. Where's a good spot? Like here? Yeah, I can't get you to go this way. Here, though, might be a good spot. Or right here. Yeah, there... yeah, we'll do something like that. There we go. We have our large emergency shelter. Bingo. Why isn't the local government doing anything to stop the fires? Let's check out our fire protection. We're good over here in the residential. Not so good over here in this area, and that is maybe worth putting something down for. And maybe we may be to the time where we want the fire helicopter depot. I don't know. I don't think we're quite there yet. Let's put this quaint little residential fire station, though, down in our residential area. That space is going to be already occupied because I think I put a police station or something there. But you here, let's see. Yeah, we can put a fire station right here, and this will cover this whole residential area, and a little bit into this industrial area too, which is where the big fire risks go. Yeah, you can see things populating in blue. That'll work nicely. There we go. Okay, so we have our fire station down, so emergency service 2 is placed. Liking how this city's building up. Obviously, we'll need to fill in back here because it looks still kind of strange to have all this high density in the middle of nowhere here, but you know, we're working on it. I like the high density. I think it looks really good. And the longer you leave it, the cooler it looks because buildings need time to upgrade and so forth. So, okay, so we have that. Now let's actually get to planning out our emergency routes here for this emergency shelter. It looks like buildings have already filled in around it, which is what I wanted to see happen. That's good. Let's plan out these routes. Draw an evacuation route. So, how does this work? That is a good question. Okay, here we go. So here we can add stops. So we should have probably the buses go along Main Street here. Maybe, I don't know. Let's add a stop right here because we're going to need to connect up as a circle there. Let's have a stop right there. Put another one in here, and then let's run down this road. One important thing to remember is that we can pretty much spam these stops. We don't need to worry about traffic so much with placing these evacuation routes down, just because people aren't really going to be the buses aren't going to be used unless there's a disaster impending, and we can take the traffic hit for that if we need to. There we go. We've got that stop down. Now I'm trying to decide: do we come up this street or come up this street? Probably this street right here, actually, is what I'm thinking. And place another stop there. And then we'll go ahead and place a stop right here. And then we're going to come down this side of town here, this side of the city. We can place a stop in here. And if we go back and change these to one-way streets, that may cause some issues for us. But for now, I think we'll be okay. And you can stop here. Now, these shelters don't carry a ton of buses. That's why the internet and the forum that I was seeing was talking about how these evacuation routes really are questionably useful to some people, and to some people they would rather just there we go. Some people recommended editing these in the asset editor so they don't cost as much, because this is only going to let out 10 buses, which are only going to carry 30 people each. So we're really not going to get a ton of people in. And so that's why people were questioning how useful emergency shelters actually are, especially for $1,600 per week for upkeep. I'm going to go ahead and use it as default and as intended, and just take the financial hit. We're okay on finances. We're netting $5,000 a week right now, so that's not the worst thing. Okay, so that's that one down, and that's great. Our people living in this downtown area should now be able to get evacuated into this big shelter. Now, granted, I see that this is not super green all the way through here. Like, these roads are green and stuff, so it's probably going to collect people from here first, but at least we're doing something, right? And as our city continues to grow and expand, I could place a small one maybe over here or something like that, to get a little bit better coverage. Now, these people over here should probably have one too, and I am planning on making this high density at some point. Not yet. I don't think we have the need, and I don't want to have to try to plan out the traffic, especially with this interchange already being kind of the nasty bottleneck that it is. We're going to have to make changes to that at some point, but for now, we'll just leave everything low density, and we should be okay there. Let's grab another emergency shelter. Just the small one, which is a lot cheaper and costs a lot less per week. Although, proportionally, it makes sense. It's more efficient to use the big ones, but I'm fine to just keep using these small ones here. Should we place you right next to the cemetery? Might make a degree of sense. Alternatively, let's place you down here in this neighborhood. There we go, and that's going to cover these people here. So this is our small emergency shelter for this neighborhood. Let's go ahead and plan an evacuation route. The buses, how are the buses going to run? Yeah, buses can run. We can have our first stop here. We can put in a second stop here. Third stop here. Fourth stop here. And so on. We'll put in another stop here and then kind of loop through this neighborhood area. Another stop there. Yeah, there we go. This is working. I think this is going to work fine. Then a stop here, and maybe there's probably optimal don't put these too close together type rules. I'm obviously ignorant of what those rules actually are. So these people here don't have the bus running directly to them, but I'm assuming they can walk to the shelter or something. So there we go. So now we've got, I think, adequate emergency shelter coverage, at least for the good that emergency shelters actually do. I'm seeing a problem pop up over here, but I don't know what it is. I'm a fan of our industrial area. I think this is working pretty well, and we are not totally awful with traffic. Again, I need to rework this roundabout. Probably just move it clear out here or something, or put in another roundabout out here. These are working shockingly well. Adjusting our one-way streets like we did over here, and then adjusting our roundabouts to be just a little bit bigger has really helped traffic flow pretty well through this area, which is great, because this is mostly where a lot of the trucks are coming from, because this is the highway exit here. So anyway, so we've got that done. Now let's check what other emergency services we have available. I've got a couple of tsunami buoys down there. Probably worth putting maybe another one here. Again, I have no idea what's optimal placement for these things. And then let's put one here and one here. Costing us money, yes, but after that nasty tsunami that we got, I'm not taking any more chances with that. We also have the capacity to place an earthquake sensor. Sensors detect not only earthquakes, but also if a sinkhole is forming. Sensors show you the approximate location of the disaster well before it is happening, which is great. And just placing one here, can I actually get away with placing this just right on this island here? Because that might be ideal. Alternatively, we place it over in this area. Yeah, that might be the thing to do here. We can just come into this little neighborhood, and we're on the beach somewhere. Yeah, I want to get kind of centered. So let's just place an earthquake sensor right the heck here. There we go, and now that whole area is covered. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got the earthquake sensor down, so we're covered against that form of disaster as well. Just looking at our poo water here, our water treatment plants are operating great, and looks like cleaning most of that water. We could place down a garbage collector, or a trash remover for the water, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. And then come back to this disaster area here. We should definitely get potentially the tall radio mast down. Oh, and that can go right here, just right by the highway, I'm thinking. Actually makes a lot of sense for it to go. Right-click you to rotate you. That is a really big structure. Do I really want to take up that much space in the middle of, right in the middle of the city, basically, with that kind of a radio mast? Or do I want to come down and place you, like, in the middle of our farming area? Let's check our farming district here. Yeah, so right in there is our farming area, and I don't know about you guys, the farming areas I've seen occasionally, like, that's actually a really good deal for farmers, frankly, is when a cell phone company or somebody wants to put a radio tower or cell phone tower on their property, farmers are like, oh, heck yeah, man. Because they get paid a lot for that, so. Okay, so we've got the radio mast down. Perfect. Now this will allow us to sound the alarm if we get notice that a disaster is incoming, and people will head to the shelters and head to the evacuation routes more quickly. Looks like we do need some power there. I'm almost tempted to just place down, because we will get 8 whole megawatts off of this. No, that's not efficient. Never mind. This tower isn't going to need 8 megawatts to run. Space already occupied. Yes, I know. Oh, we're hitting the cables there. Yeah, let's just run a power line out here and then over to our wind farm, which again looks super ugly. We'll want to put down, not super ugly, it's just busy, right? And I don't love all this busyness. We'll want to put down our big solar plant at some point. Okay, what's wrong with you? Too few services. What services do you lack? You've got radio coverage, apparently, which I didn't know I could even look at. You've got some fire coverage, so I'm not too worried about that. And you've got low crime. Well, we are going to need to build a jail at some point here. Please helicopter. Ooh, fun. Yeah, I would love to get some helicopters and stuff involved here, but I don't think we have the money right now. Looking at things, looks like our demand for residential has really tanked. Probably mostly driven by the fact that there is not a ton of office space around here. Industry or offices. So I have some office zoned down here, downtown. That's commercial. Your office. Your office. I'm thinking we should zone some more office here in this area. Office / commercial. Let's turn this into a big road going this direction, servicing this neighborhood in this area. And then grab our tiny roads again. Not tiny roads, sir. And take you down here, right to the beach. And then square that off like that. And then I'll probably run a road right along the beach and have that be like some low-density residential and low-density commercial. Might even make it into an entertainment district. That might make a lot of sense. And we could put... we could put like our cruise harbor or something right out here on this point or something. Make sure we have transit going to it. There we go. Okay, so we've got this block here. I'm going to go ahead and mirror it, actually, because symmetric-ish is how we're playing this playthrough. Again, hopefully that doesn't offend anybody. I like my symmetry. And I like my grids, too. And grids actually work, turns out, which is why people keep using them, keep placing them down. So we need some more commercial to service all these people. We also need some, I think, office rather than industrial. I'll at least try the office instead of the industrial. So let's put down commercial like so. And then mix in a little bit of office too. So we can put an office building in here, or a row of office buildings in there, a row of high density commercial there, a row of office there. And then on these interior roads where it's like right off the beat, where it's a fair amount off the beaten path, I'm fine to make that all office. We don't have to need to have that be super accessible to our people. Actually, get rid of you. That's all we need for now. And we have water to you. Great. Oh, what was that tweet? Someone know how much, yeah, energy this meter consumes? Okay, so we're getting office and commercial filling in, which is great. That'll start lowering the demand for both industry and commercial. So that's fantastic. I know a little bit of maintenance stuff that's deviating us from the from our goal of getting the city fully disaster prepped, but also worth doing, right? Because that then increases our demand for citizens and increases our tax base, which is now up to $8,000 a week. That's awesome. Okay, so what do we need to do next for disaster preparedness? Come over here, and we've got the tsunami buoy, we've got the earthquake sensor. We have here a weather radar, which keeps us a watch on weather patterns, predicts strong thunderstorms and tornadoes, and can even notify you where the storm or tornado will hit, making it easier to prepare for a disaster. This building covers the whole city. Perfect. I think that is worth having, for sure. Weather radar must be placed roadside. Okay. Now, this actually leads me to a question. Where is the best place for our disaster response unit? Also, we're having some issues with traffic, or with trash pileup and resource shortage, not enough crops. I'm going to need to revisit my farming area here. I'm thinking this is a bad place for this disaster response building. I would kind of like to move it back, honestly, somewhere in this area. Yeah, we had it before sitting right here, which was just kind of an okay-ish, out-of-the-way place to put it. Do you have like a noise pollution effect or something like that? Let's check. Oh boy. Thunderstorm is incoming. Suboptimal. Although not the end of the world. Thunderstorms are not the worst disasters. Like, they're not tsunamis, right? Well, this one has a severity of 5.6, so that's not great. Mostly they just take down your power lines, which is, again, not great, but most of our power isn't even connected to the power lines because we have the electric roads mod, so that's fine. Okay, yeah, we'll just kind of keep an eye on things. What are you? Are you on fire? This tower is on fire. Oh my gosh, because the thunderstorm hit it. That is insane. What? Okay, well, that answers the question of, is it time for the fire helicopter depot? And I think the answer is a definitive yes. It is absolutely time. That depot can actually go... Should we put it right here? Yeah, we can put you actually right here. And then I'm also going to grab this fire watch tower and have it cover this wooded hillside here. And kind of put that near the fire depot. I think that makes some like role-playing type sense, right? And that'll enable us, our helicopters, to put out the fires that start with in the trees here, because we are going to put in a foresting. I actually named it Pine Mountain. Very creative name, right? We're actually going to start a logging area for in one of the next episodes for our industry. Help get that industry demand down, you know? Okay, helicopters look like they're on the move. Where are you going to? You're filling your water bucket. That's going to be expensive to upkeep, by the way, but I think we're at the point that we need it, especially if our antenna is going to freaking catch fire. Let's watch this little fire helicopter here. Turn up the speed. Wait, why am I no longer watching the fire helicopter? There we go. And he's going to fill his bucket. Very nice. And he's hopefully going to come fly through the thunderstorm, which is absolutely insane. Through the thunderstorm. And dump it on that hugely tall antenna. There we go. Fire out. Good job, helicopter. Now, how do I stop following you? Stop. There we go. Okay, so we've had some issues. Looks like the thunderstorm has passed. We're having... Ooh, wow, our fields are burning. Oh, man. This is why you need disaster prep, guys. So you never know when a disaster is going to strike, and disasters can take a lot of forms. Disasters can be a fire like this, caused by a lightning strike or a thunderstorm. Disasters can be coronavirus. Disasters can be like some crazy terrorist attack or something like that. Or disasters can just be like you losing your job and you need to, you know, eat the canned food you have under your bed for a week or something like that. So yes, prepare for your disasters. It is important, as we see both in this game and in real life these days. Okay, so we've got that down. I would really like to move that disaster response unit somewhere a little bit where it makes a little more sense. And I was going to check before we got our thunderstorm, I was going to check to see if it had like a noise pollution or other area of effect. And it appears that it does not, so we could even put that downtown. Or like somewhere, I don't know, it should probably be somewhere where it's easy to get both to our, well, it should probably be somewhere close to highway access, to be honest. Trying to think here. Sorry, I don't know, I'm thinking quietly and not talking while I do this, but probably, I don't know, it probably doesn't matter a ton, which is what you guys are thinking, right? I would also like to leave this area kind of open for train or rail lines, though, so I don't know if I want to clog it up right there. We could just, I've been kind of saving this spot if I wanted to put in a park or something, but we could just put it right here. That gets us kind of close to the highways. Yeah, not super close to the highways, though. Okay, you know what? Never mind. You're right. This makes the most sense. Plop. There we go. Okay, so the disaster response unit is moved a little closer to our downtown, which is where the bulk of our population is. Holy crap, those lightning strikes did a ton of damage. Wow. Let's come over here and clean up our the damage to the power lines that it did. This is the annoying thing about the thunderstorms, right? If you have a city that's really spread out with lots of these power lines, you have issues. Serious issues. And these power lines technically don't even need to be there, do they? No, they do not. Let's just get rid of you guys then. And you as well. Okay. Yeah, I need to do some work over here on the farming area. That will wait, though. That'll have to wait. Anything else we need? Oh, yeah, this is important. Yeah, you guys need power. Although, Are you actually overlapping and drawing power from the road? You might be. Just in case, though. Yeah, I'm assuming I would have had more people complaining about their sewer backing up if those weren't drawing power from the road, if those didn't have enough power. Okay, anything else disaster management that we need? Oh yeah, we were going to get our weather station, which I was waiting to put right next to the disaster team, because I think that makes sense. There we go. Our meteorological station. And then we have a deep space radar. Upkeep. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. There are different types of disaster. There are low probability, high severity, and high probability, low severity. So you getting sick for 2 weeks or getting laid off or something is a relatively low severity, high probability disaster. Our current coronavirus thing is a medium probability, but also medium severity thing. Like, yeah, it's having a big economic effect, but not a ton of people are dying. Well, I mean, like 1% mortality rate, that's, tragic, and everybody who dies from it is tragic. But my point is there could be worse disasters out there. Like, it could be a massive tsunami that wipes out, a quarter of our, or half of our town's population or something like that. Tsunami is a good example of a low probability, high severity disaster. And then I think the best example of that would be a deep space radar. Honestly, worried about meteors striking the city? Not really. I've never seen that happen. That's something that's going to be weighted really low probability in game here and also in real life. Get a deep space radar. So I'm thinking that this is not worth it to spend the $25,000, but more importantly, to spend the $720 a week to upkeep it up front here. But with that, I feel pretty good, guys, about our preparedness. Oh, what are your guys' problems? Oh, educated workers. Yeah, I realize that's an issue. And we need a university or something. Let's check out our education setup here. Elementary school is fine. High school is less fine. We don't have a ton of high school capacity. Nor do I have a really great place to place a high school that would, get coverage I felt good about, if that makes any sense. Get enough coverage in my mind. This already is occupied here. What's occupying this space? I could put a high school down here and then move this one over here to cover this section of the city a little bit better. That might be worth doing. Anyway, I'll give that some thought, guys. Like I say, in the next few episodes, we will continue to follow this pattern of kind of having a plan or a theme for the episode. We are disaster prepared for today, and I feel pretty confident that we can handle anything, barring the meteor strike. Watch this happen next episode. That would be awesome, actually. I've never seen that meteor strike happen in game, so I think that would be swell to see that happen. But barring a meteor strike, we are actually pretty well prepared, I think, for most disasters that we're going to find. Oh, there goes a plane. Heard that in my earphones. I was like, what the heck? Is that a weed whacker someone fired up or something? But yeah, next episodes we'll work on this central park and zoo area for the city. We'll work on the transit setup. We'll work on education, and we'll work on setting up our logging industry over here, which, like I say, is now 4 episodes. So stay tuned. We're going to keep this good content coming. And again, everybody stay safe and stay happy out there. So have a fantastic day.